Well, I think before anybody buys Wix, they should look at a couple other options and do a little comparison, um, and look into who uses Wix. You'll find that a lot of major companies are using it, including companies like the New York Times. So just do a little investigation, and I think you'll find out that it's one of the top-rated content management systems. I consider myself a new user to Wix, a new user to any contact context management system. Um, but about 6 months ago, um, I took on the task of administering a website for a local organization, nonprofit organization here, and they had already um, set up the site using Wix. So when I took that on, I had to learn to use the Wix system, and I'm continuing to use it and have built up their site to where it's much more um, functional for what they want to do. The reasons I chose Wix were that, well, I didn't actually choose it, to be quite honest about it. The website was built with Wix, and it was presented to me already sort of set up. At first, I've been used to using other content management systems. And at first I was apprehensive about Wix. I even suggested that they change to a different company that I was more used to. But once I started, they didn't want to do that. So once I started using Wix, I found out that, I was comfortable with it. It was relatively easy to use. Took a little learning curve, as anything else would, but now I'm comfortable with it, and just happy to continue using it for the group I'm working with. Okay, before I started using Wix, I was using WordPress, and WordPress is widely used. It was really the only one I was aware of when I first started looking into developing websites. And it's a good system, but it's not straightforward. It's not as easy to use as Wix is. And I think the group I'm working with really wanted something that was much easier to use, much more intuitive, and so they really wanted to stick with it. And at this point, I'm glad they did. Getting started with Wix is simple, I would say. It takes a little learning curve, as anything would. It operates a little differently from what I was used to. But once I got into it, got up and running with it, I would say it's, of the systems I've used, it's the easiest one to use. And you can do as much or as little with it as you want. You can use their already set up introductory website building and basically just go with that. Or in our case, we wanted to do a little more. We wanted to get the website up where it was much more interactive. So, adding videos, adding documents, things like that, is very straightforward and relatively easy to use. I would recommend, don't hesitate to try it out. They do have a free version that you can just play around with, see what you think. They also have a number of online videos, instructional videos that you can access. Um, so, you know, even though, like in my case, I was apprehensive about using it, I'm relatively new to all this. Um, but once I got into it, I'm finding it very straightforward. The only caveat I would give to it is that um, it's difficult to get technical support. You have to really search and search. There's no telephone number. You have to search for the um, chat bot, and then you continue to search. Finally, I've gotten to a real person for an online chat for some help. Once you figure that out, they are very helpful, but it was difficult to find.